All right, first things first. How the fuck do you get your first chin up if you don't have the strength to do one and you don't know where to start? I'm about to teach you the fastest, most simple, and safe way to achieving your first ever chin up. But before we get started, why should you give a shit about chin ups? Okay, reason number one is they are a compound exercise. So what this means is the exercise targets multiple muscle groups all at once. So what we're targeting in a chin up, you're looking at your back muscles, your shoulder muscles, your arms, and your core. So what this means is that doing this one exercise, you're getting a bang for buck while training this one movement to target all those muscle groups at once. Reason number two is that chin-ups feel really, really empowering, especially as a woman. There's something really badass about being able to pull yourself up and defy gravity. And my third reason that I love chin-ups is they are such a great foundation for building strength for more advanced calisthenics bodyweight exercises. For example, once you master your first chin-up, you can then look at doing weighted chin-ups. So you add weight to progressively make it harder. This will help you build more muscle and more strength so that you can then unlock awesome, badass movements like the muscle up. So these chin-ups, that key foundation, I hands down swear, chin-ups were a game changer to helping me achieve my first muscle up. Chin-ups are quite unique in comparison to some other strength exercises where you can simply reduce the weight if you can't do it. For example, a heavy squat, you can just take the weight down and then you can do the squat. However, with chin-ups, because it relies on your body weight and whether you can pull yourself up or not, this either means you can do it or you can't do it. But lucky for you, there are some regression exercises that you can do that mimic the chin-up and that are beginner friendly. We can use these exercises to help you build the skill and the strength to achieving your first ever chin-up. I've mapped out some levels for you that will allow you to meet yourself where you're at and take you to your first ever chin-up. So based on the level, you will start there and work your way up all the way until you've completed your first ever chin-up. So I recommend starting at level 1, master the targets. Once you've clocked level 1, you move on to level 2 and so forth, progressing your way up until you've completed your first ever chin-up. Here are the exercises that you are going to do for level 1. Starting with dead hand. Perform 1 to 2 sets, starting at 5 seconds, building your way up to 30 seconds. Next exercise, feet assisted chin-ups. Start with 2 to 3 sets, working your way up from 3 reps to 8 reps. Last exercise, high inverted rows. Perform 2 to 3 sets, starting at 8 reps, building your way up to 12. These are the exercises for level 2. Starting with active hand. Perform 1 to 2 sets, starting at 5 seconds and building your way up to 30 seconds. Next exercise, assisted chin-ups. Start with 2 to 3 sets and start with 3 reps, building your way up to 8 reps. Last exercise, median inverted rows. Perform 2 to 3 sets, starting with 8 reps and build your way up to 12. Here are the exercises for level 3. Starting with scapular chin-ups. Perform 1 to 2 sets, starting with 5 reps and build your way up to 8. Second exercise are eccentric chin-ups. Start with 2 to 3 sets, 3 reps, and start with 3 seconds, building up to 10 seconds. Last exercise is low inverted rows. Start with 2 to 3 sets at 8 reps and build your way up to 12. All right, guys, if you've made it this far and you have been able to complete all the exercises, you are ready to attempt your first chin-up. Important disclaimer, before you attempt your first chin-up, it is going to feel hard as fuck. And it's not going to look that sexy, but I want you to give it a go anyway. And just know that as you get stronger and that you do this more and more often, the chin-ups are going to look prettier the more that you do it. Practice makes perfect. Progress, not perfection. Also want to touch on mindset. So before you go to attempt your first chin-up, honestly, I can speak from experience and I have seen this with clients. Your mindset before going into that attempt is so fucking important. You want to really empower yourself and be your biggest hype girl or your hype guy. Before you go to attempt it, you want those thoughts to be really empowering. Put your music on, get yourself in like that mindset and that energy. But also at the same time, don't be afraid of failing. If you don't get it, it's not the end of the world. This doesn't mean that you suck, and it's not attached to your self-worth. You want to go in with your best, like give it your everything, but be okay that if you do fail, that it just gives you feedback that what you need to do and keep moving towards that chin-up. Okay, here we go. We are going to talk you through your first ever chin-up. You're going to grab the bar shoulder width apart, not too narrow, not too wide, just right. Flip your hands so that your palms are facing up. Wrap your thumbs around the bar and hold on tight. Build tension in your muscles by pretending to bend the bar. Pull your shoulders back and down, no hunching or rounding. Get into a hollow body position. Thighs together, point your toes, core tight, squeeze your butt. Squeeze your back and biceps to pull your chest towards the bar. Drive your elbows back. Keep a smooth, controlled tempo. Avoid bouncing or using momentum. Keep your body tight and straight. Avoid a loss of tension or uneven pulling. Keep pulling until your chin clears the bar. We want full range of motion, no partial reps. If you are wanting to do multiple attempts, make sure to rest anywhere between 2 to 5 minutes. Avoid short rest time. For the best and fastest results, you want to make sure that you are training your chin-up progression at least 2 to 3 times per week, because consistency is key. For example, this is how you could program chin-ups across your week. You could train your chin-up progressions Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That gives you enough recovery in between sessions to allow you to push your intensity and make those gains. When first starting out, you might notice that your gains come pretty quickly. So you might find that you can level up from session to session. For example, you might be able to do reps of 6 one session, the next session you can do reps of 7, and the third session you can do 8. However, the more experience that you get, these gains tend to slow down. So instead of going from session to session, you want to try and level up from week to week. For example, week 1, you might be doing reps of 6, week 2, you might be doing reps of 7, and then week 3, you might be doing reps of 8. I want to talk about the importance of tracking your progress. So when you go to do your workouts, make sure if you're not using an app that you have a gym journal where you can log things like the reps that you're doing, how many sets that you've done, the difficulty of the exercise, any little nuances or details about those specific exercises and how you felt, so that next time you come to do your workout, you've got a track record of all the things that you've done previously. And this is how you can see your progress over time. Again, something else that I find like really cool about tracking your progress is that you can set yourself like smaller milestones and you can kind of gamify it and have fun with it. So set targets within those exercises while you're working towards achieving your first chin-up. Filming yourself is a really great tool for tracking and measuring your progress with your chin-ups. So when you're filming yourself, you get direct feedback as to what the movement and your technique looks like, so you can be your own coach and give yourself feedback. If something isn't feeling right, you can see what's happening in the video. Not only that, it gives you a really cool baseline and starting place, so that as you go on your journey, you've got this whole library of videos of you progressing and making gains. Not only does that add motivation to keep going, but once you've achieved your chin-up, you can then look back and see how far you've come, and it's pretty freaking cool. There are some mistakes that you want to avoid when working towards your first ever chin-up, and we will touch on those later in the video. Guys, if you want an easy to follow training plan that meets you where you're at and helps you achieve your first ever chin-up, you can check out my Coach Lydia app. It's like having me in your pocket. I have programmed all the exercises that you need to know, along with sets and reps, rest times, you have coach's notes, and you can track and log your workouts. If you're interested, you can get your hands on it by checking the link in the description below. Okay, now you know what you need to do, but I bet you're wondering, how long is this gonna take? And that's a great question. But I honestly don't have the answer. Everyone's journey is so unique and it's going to take as long as it takes. Some people it can take weeks, some people take months, some people take years to get their first chin up. But the most important thing is consistency. So if you continue training 2 to 3 times per week, you're really intentional in your sessions, you're pushing your boundaries, you're flirting with failure, honestly, that is going to be the best, fastest, and safe way to achieving your first ever chin up. It's your journey, so have fun and enjoy the ride. To optimize your gains and to stay safe, here are 3 mistakes that you want to avoid. Something I see when people are wanting to get their first chin up is that they tend to overdo it and overtrain because they're so excited they think that more is better. However, this is why I recommend starting out 2 to 3 times per week so that you can be consistent, but also you're allowing yourself adequate recovery in between sessions. It is the recovery that allows you to build more muscle, get strong, and that's what's going to get you your first chin up. With your chin up progressions, you don't want to be going to failure. You want to be challenging yourself. However, you do want to make sure that you are working within your target rep ranges because that is going to allow you to get enough volume, aka your sets and reps and time, to build the muscle and strength required to get in your first chin up. The last common mistake that I see is this all or nothing approach. When you're first starting out, you go gung-ho, and then all of a sudden we don't see you in the gym for weeks. What this means is that we need to focus on that consistency. So you're better off starting with a number of days that you know you can consistently do over a long enough period of time in order to see the results you want. If you miss a workout, this doesn't mean you go and do 2 workouts in one day. You just pick up where you left off and again, build up that consistency again. Consistency is key. If you consistently show up and you action the steps that we have shared with you in this video, there's no reason why you can't achieve your first ever chin up. Make sure that you come back to this video and comment below when you get your first ever chin up. Achieving your first chin up is a fucking huge milestone and something worth celebrating, and I want us to celebrate it with you. Like I mentioned earlier, cultivating the right mindset is so important to achieving your first ever chin up. If you want some easy tips on how you can level up your mindset so that you can achieve your goals and build a body that you are proud of, check out my video, 3 mindset tips on how to build a body you're proud of. I hope you love this video, and please don't forget to let me know when you get your first ever chin up. All right, guys, I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.